Hello, ich heiße Gabriel and Icon. My name is Gabriel and Icon, the founder and chairman of the Confit Global Consulting. The company started as a small company for healthcare provisions, and I changed the design of my business from a I add some programs that will allow me to expand the business and sort for more possibility and opportunity, as well as enhance the capacity and ability that I believe I possess, and will be able to defer those faculties into the people that I will be working with in the future. Therefore, the topic of today's presentation will be creation versus evolution. Creation versus evolutions. I'll be covering many theses and many hypotheses with the blessing of the heavens, and I'm also going to bring a lot of information from Jesus Christ and from God. Pretty much they are similar because like I mentioned before, there's only one creator. There's only one. There's not two. And I will start talking about the supernatural, how people need to start being involved in a spiritual realm to awake the consciousness of about the purpose in the life journey into this existence, present existence. It's very important. Such informations will emphasize an enhancement to a more peaceful and progressive future for generation to come. Therefore, in the name of the Almighty Adonai Elohim, HYHWH, as the Creator, the infinite intelligence, the highest intelligence, I would like to say welcome and thank you to all my listeners around the world. Buongiorno, bienvenido, my dear fellows, senor, senorita. You're welcome. Or senora, whatever your attribute is in the society. Gentlemen, Mrs., Mr., Miss, welcome for listening to this. The probability of getting into this presentation online might be close to zero, but the probability of searching might be up to close to 1. Never know, depending on how the subject is. All right. Now, the founder and chairman of the Confit Global Consulting, the company that still have his offices where the founder live. I have all the materials and all the necessary tools to bring this company forward. Many people do not know when I'm talking here. I have studied consulting in school during my master thesis. I have studied a lot. The point about studying is not about saying that you have studied. The point about study is to prove that you have the faculties of bringing something through. And that's what I'm doing. That proves that you have some ability. Many people might access my information without my authorizations, but they do not know what I'm doing. The reason why is because we are not functioning in the same synchronizations. When I mean about the same synchronizations, I am referring into the level in which I am operating. They cannot comprehend it. If you do mathematics of high caliber, of 900 level mathematics, somebody will look what you're doing, don't know exactly what you're doing. It's like you're doing mathematics, or you're doing a programming using mathematical or MATLAB, or you're using a computer science program and codes. People can look at it, but they don't know what you're doing. All right, so I don't worry about what people think. I worry about what God thinks. All right, and I believe in myself. Period. So that's not really a big deal. I have people who believe that my life have a certain end, but I just want to make sure that that people knows that our life unfold the way that we were born. We were a lotter, and then the next time you know, you see the guy is growing up, and the next time you know, you see the guy come and open the door for you. The next time you know, the guy start having muscles. The next time you know, he start talking about ladies, or she start talking about boys. The next time you know, she have a family, or he have a family. The next time you know, he's somebody or he's nobody. The next time you know, he have a funeral announcement for him. The next time you know, he have a family, kids that represent him, and end of the story. People grow up, and people must be able to move on. You cannot move forward, keep looking back. It's not moving forward, it's faking the move. That's the reason why one of the wife of the niece of Abraham got transformed into salt. Because God don't like people like that. Either you move forward, either you stay back. You cannot be in between. I move forward, I'm looking back. I move forward, I'm looking back. You can write a song with that. Maybe you're gonna dance that song by yourself. Maybe your family, your brother will be purchasing the CD. I'm moving forward, I'm looking back. Moving forward, I'm looking back. Feeling good. Got to be examined if you have not drink 7-Eleven. Crazy folks. The point is, I'm a moving forward person. I don't look back. It doesn't mean that I don't refer my analysis and inferences and from past events. Past events are necessary to fortify and strengthen our move forward. But what I mean by I'm moving forward, I'm looking back, I'm talking about people who don't want to move forward. Every single time they have to refer into the past, like they're living in the past. That past is past, my friend. Deal with reality moving forward. Alright? The point that I'm making is that there are still people out there. Who believe that the story out there is a true story. All right. You see, the point is this: we live in a civilized society. Society in which we have laws that we should follow. We should follow those laws, making sure that the same laws are protecting every single person. People don't come and knock you out. Sometimes love or sometimes life can knock you down. It will knock you down. You step back up, it knock you down, knock you down. Sometimes life can knock you down. It will knock you down. You stand back up, it knock you down, knock you down. Well, you can be knocked down. You step back up and you move on. But you got people who just don't want to stand back up. They just want to stay there. I don't function with that kind of people. The law is protecting us. The reason why somebody don't knock you down is because he know the law is there. He know that if he do that, he have to face the consequence of the law. Many people out there who wanted to take care of business, but they can't do it. But even if they do it, they're doing it hiding. They're doing looking up and down because they know there's a law. I'm going in that person's car, I'm gonna do something crazy. He doesn't gonna come comfortably and try to do it. He's gonna be looking close and down, up and try to create scenes so that nobody see him. Why does a person do like that? It's because he knows there's laws. There's laws. So the same law that protect you is the same law that you are breaking, or you have broken because you wanted to prove a point. When you get matter and problem, you start talking about we have a law in this country. Without thinking that a second ago you're violating that same law. It's cracking comedians. There are those who believe that. I moved in this country 13 years ago, about 13 years ago. It will be 13 years in a couple months. About 3 months, I believe. But I do not look my progress to the money I possess or to the thing that I have. The good thing that you can take out of this earth when you leave is the happiness that lay down inside of you. What have you done good that have transformed people's life forever? It's not what I possess, what I have. How many temples of the Egyptian pharaoh that still stand that you can see? Non-existing. History. Open book. You see that there. If you wanted to consider your life with what you possess and the name and all this stuff, when you're done out of this world, you will go like that. You will become history. But if you do something that have transformed people's life, your name will stay forever. In today's society, we are judging people based on what they possess and based on what they have. And when they are gone, they become forgotten forever. And this is the kind of thing that I'm bringing today into the society, that people must know how God wants us to live. People are going to say, how do you live your life? I live my life well. I got into this level because I knew how to learn from a mismatch. There are many people out there who don't know how to do that. And that's exactly what God wants us to do. God is not in the business of counting how many sins you have done, because He knows everyone will be doing sins. It is a normal thing. After Adam and Eve, it became a normal thing. So they don't spend the time counting. They know you're a sinner. As soon as you come out from the normal procedure of birth, they know a new sinner is born. It's just simple. You want to accept it or not, you are. I am a sinner. By default, by birth. They are looking how you handle your sin moving forward. If you're willing to work and recognize God or Jesus Christ or the principle in place set up by God and Jesus Christ. Those are the things that they are more concerned of. They are not concerned about how many sins you have done today, how many sins you're gonna make sins. By thought, by just looking, by sending a clicky message to a person, by cursing or something like that, that's sin. Period. Celestial beings function under universal laws that prohibit them to curse, that prohibit them to have bad thoughts. So they have to be pure in all levels. They function in laws that were established by God. Those laws were put in by God, and every single being that lives there, that transit into the spiritual realm, have to follow those laws to be in harmony with the energy of the universe. Because the universe is what we see because due to the balance, not because, due to the balance of energy among all matter, seen or unseen, depending on the dimension in which you are. The physical aspect of life is integrated into the spiritual aspect of life. The universe functions under balance laws in which all lives are integrated into. Your life have to synchronize with the energy of the universe and be in harmony with that energy so that you can have peace in your life. This world have trouble, problems, sadness, madness, because we are not in harmony with the universe. Therefore, we will not have happiness inside. I have to hurt someone. I hate that person. I have to put toxin in somebody's food. This person must go to jail. This person does not belong to here. Those are the symptoms of the unbalance that people have with the universe. That's how it's manifested, because when it goes like that, something like that must happen to bring it back into harmony. And you pick up the pieces. So we have laws where we have to follow. I would like people who have spent their time talking. I always look the scenario in case of John Kerry or John McCain and stuff like that, and say that I've served only 3 years in the military. The people derive all my life that he was a military guy. I'm not. I just served 3 years. It was just like a journey. All those folks that went there, they did stuff that they have to do because they sign up and they have to do this stuff. But after they leave service, they have a new life. You have a brand new life. I left the service 7 years ago. 7 years, going to 8 years now. I don't have that mood anymore. I can run. I can do all the sport. It's because it is part of me. It is inside of me. It was not created in the military. It is part of my genes, code and programming. That's what it's about. And I want people to know that. I am not a disabled veteran. Period. People have to know that. I went into service. I was a core engineer. I was part of the core engineer that went over there to supervise and manage the operational base. The same thing I was doing when I was here in the state. I was not in front line, even if I had to know how to fight and all this stuff, because you're going to war zone. All right. So I want people to stop that madness. Many people return back home like I did. I'm not the only lucky man, like people saying he was too lucky. There are many lucky folks out there who came back, they went to school, have their own business, have family, and they move on. So was I. What's the matter with me that people want from me? People are looking at me like I'm a freaking crazy folks. I'm gonna leave my car open. I'll go inside the house. Maybe he gonna come and steal my money. Let's say I come and steal your money. When I open that bag, if it's not $1 million, even God is an analogy gonna tell me what is wrong with you. You're gonna open a bag only to steal $5, $10, even if it's $100. What is wrong with you, son? I'll understand if that was $1 million. That was a good shot. If you don't get caught. So you wanna open your car, the Gabriel and Daikon gonna come and steal $20 or $30, $50. Please, if you see me do that, call 911 so that they can call a mental institution to place me there. I'll give you authorization. Because that will not represent me. Maybe the toxin you put on my food make me act crazy. I just don't understand, folks. Why do I mean, certain stuff sometimes I stay like that, I just laugh. And people think he's crazy now. Because there are many things that you just don't know how to explain it. It doesn't represent you in any kind. Even if I drink, I can assure you, it will be the last thing I'm thinking of. I don't drink anyway. So I just say, worst case scenario, that I lose my mind. Do you believe that Gabriel and Daikon do not have a penny or dime? Are you mad? I know how to count. You see, there's a thing here. Alright? I'll say this and I give a defeat into the President of the United States. With my First Amendment and respect into his positions that God gave him in this earth. I respect his position not because of him, but I respect his position because of God. Alright? I want to make that clear. Now, if I sit with the president, I will say to the president of the United States, this is the thing, sir. Alright? I came in this country with a profile as a terrorist. As of today that I'm talking to you, terrorism is a profile for doing or being nothing in the future. You tell me otherwise. A couple of days ago, we still have that. It is a 13-year thing, and I have been here almost 13 years. It's not done yet. So you tell me how I will survive if you guys don't take care of that profile. Those are your story. The government take your name and they put your name into the database as a person of high caliber that must be observed for the rest of his life. The only job that you can have is flipping burger in McDonald's or something. I know that because I serve in the government. You didn't, or you do not. So when people are out there, they're talking stuff, they're not. Okay, if you never deploy, you don't have the experience that I do, because when you deploy, you have to sign some paper. You have to go to many seminars and stuff and get involved, about espionage and all this, sharing information, make sure, all this stuff. You don't have that. Therefore, you don't have a complete summary of, that will allow you to comprehend what I'm saying here, other than listening. Oh, when I say comprehend, in terms of adjudicating my illustration. All right. So the point is, if I sit down with him, I say to him clearly, I came here for profile. Second of all, the military, when I was going in, refused to accept my academic proficiency and ability to put it in the system. Until today, I know not what the reason why they refused that. Third of all, based on the assumption that you have, that you believe in, and other people has followed because of what you have said, every single department in the United States have the right to make decisions based on their own assumptions of qualification, as well as based on many factors. They don't look only one factor like people think. Okay? The academic thing that you're talking about me, they look at it. But they also look other factors, like courses that I've taken here. If in your paper that you are adjudicating, there is those courses are 100 level courses or 200 level courses. They look the courses that I've taken here, they see 200 level, 300 level, 400 level, 600 level. They will say, oh, this guy have a level. Because you cannot pass a 200 level mathematics and somebody is saying that you never have ability to pass 100 level mathematics. It will not make sense. Because in order for you to pass a 200 level mathematics, you need to have a 100 level mathematics understanding. So that's the reason why department take in consideration all factors. There are many factors they consider. They just don't focus on one thing like people think. You can come over there with your degree and be rejected because you don't meet all the criteria they're looking for. It is very clear. I know how I function. I've been in school all my life. I can open an academic institutions if I have the money and finance. Now, and I said to the president again, this is the point, sir. With all the respect I have for you, even if your assumption is true, they made the decision. I got accepted based on many factors and I proved myself. And I completed my master accordingly with a good GPA and on time. Now moving forward, what I did, I said, okay, because people are adjudicating some of my academic path, what I did, I take those out. I said I will not use those moving forward. And I started that in 2012 when I applied into the university that I'm going today for my professional doctorate in public health. I put those aside and I send it into West World Education Service. They did the evaluation and respond exactly to what they believe can be acceptable into institution here in the United States and even around the world. So I have integrity. I know what I want in my life. There's no one out there who have walked a life of suffering and understanding that life is not easy. Because I start doing what people call abuse in this country since I was 9 years old. In where I grew up, it was not abuse. It was called normal life. You go to the police to talk about it, they'll beat you and send you back home. That was the reality. Because that's something you must learn. It was the way it is. My father needed to be, all right, come here, they beat you and say, go back home. You go and find money. You come back during the school vacations. You go and find money to pay your books and things when school starts again. You don't go to police and say, I get abused for it. They're going to look at you like, where did this guy come from? Their reality. Alright? And it was normal. I grew up like that. I don't see anything bad with it. So I take it off and I move on because I knew my faculty and ability. And many institutions told me, you have enough. You don't need that. I shriveled that like a cancer that tried to destroy my hard work. Go away, cancer, evil one. I put it aside and I move forward. But certain people still sticking back in the past, like I said in the beginning. They don't want to move forward. Certain people call me senior. Certain people call me sophomore. Certain people call me freshman. No problem. I'm a freshman senator. I'm a freshman, a congressman. What about that? I'm a freshman governor. What about that? I'm a freshman billionaire. What about that? I'm a sophomore senator. Bunch of cracky head. What is wrong with you? I am alive. Alright? I am alive. And instead of people dingling and jongling and flipping information like burgers, come and ask me. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. Your toxins have not taken my life yet. I'm still alive. So you come and ask me, I will give you the proper information, like I just said. And I'll say this all over and over. Even if I go into CNN, it will be the same thing. And that's the same thing I've been saying. Because I don't like things that will disturb my hard work that I know. They stick on it because it's not provable and I can prove it. And I said to them, no problem, I take it off. Since 2012, there is not such a thing like that you're going to find in my academic record. So you consider me like somebody who went as a learner in a DRPH, a professional doctorate, is the same as somebody who got admitted to a medical school or somebody who got admitted into a law school. It's the same kind of way. It's the same thing, same procedure. And I want you to know that. It's not because I don't talk too much. I don't talk what is not essential and important. Alright? I speak what is important and essential. And I close up with the president and say, with all of that, I have been seized opportunity for better opportunity, for better contracts. What is past is past. Now I'm moving forward with new companies, with my companies. Even people wanted to undermine it. You cannot undermine something that is legally formed. We only need support. Okay, my company is legally formed. My company is completely formed. Accordingly, it's not something that I'm starting from scratch. Some people, you're gonna start from scratch. Now I'm moving forward. Certain people are still in the back. He lost his job. Are you just mad? What was that? That was not something that I should be doing even today. I never did. I transitioned from working for people to working for myself. There's a big difference. I'm moving forward, I'm looking back, moving forward, looking back. I don't do that. You open a company, you want to launch it, you don't stay there. The day that you don't make a penny, you start looking, I want to work for people. And then I want to open my own company. Now I want to work for people. Now I want to open my own company. Now I want to work for people. You were never going to succeed. If you cannot stand and say it, I'll stick into this. That's the only way you will succeed. Again, I take the example of Bill Gates. He have to resign from IBM to open his company. So by resigning, he was unemployed from the time he was leaving the door to the time he opened his company. If you don't go to that process, you're never going to see success. So I'm going in the process that I'm launching my company. Even if I'm making $1, it is a decision I made. There will not be a better time to open a company and run a company. You don't want to say, I'll be working for people. And when the right time comes, please, do somebody write me a letter and tell me when he have find the right time. There is never, ever, 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 ever a right time. Never. If you don't get up and do it, you will never gonna do it. Period. So I stay there and I own my company. And people that keep talking about the loss of a job. What is heck is that? Exactly. Looking forward, moving forward, looking back. Moving forward, looking back. Backward generations. I just don't get it. I have a legitimate and legal company. I decided I don't want people to have their hand and their self-interest into my business, because my personal life in the first place. That adjudications that I said that I was talking to the president have caused a lot of damage into my life. But I do believe it was God's plan to nurture me spiritually to reach the level that I'm in today, with the wisdom I have and the knowledge I have acquired from that experience. Everything happened for a reason. If you wanted to go to a place, some of the routes are not straightforward. Some of the route you have to turn right, left, right, left. So you can say I'm deciding to go straight and you're gonna mix, kill people or knock houses on the way because you wanted to get where you're going. You have to go into different turns to get there. That's how our life is. Those process of difficulties and challenges that we have are building stone into a more better future. Are building stone that lead us into the present that we have and even the future that we will have. Looking back, we will understand that it was a journey to polish our physical, spiritual, and emotional well-being so that we can be ready for the challenge, present challenge, and future challenge. There is nothing that happened by coincidence or by chance. Everything that happened in your life is well planned, because the person who created you, who made all your particles, who structure your genomes and specify your genetics and programs the nucleotides, is the one who makes sure that you reach the purpose in which he sent you here for. Many of us are living our life, we don't know. They don't know. I mean, many are there, they don't know where they're going. They don't know what they're doing. The first thing you must ask yourself, why I am here in this earth for? If you don't ask that question, you have some problem. You will have a lot of problems. You have a purpose into this earth. If you don't ask the question, why I am here into this earth, you are walking dead. That is called looking for yourself and taking charge of your destiny. It will come along with responsibility and sacrifices in which you're going to have to take care of. The message I have for you from the heavens, I'll start with Jesus Christ. He said into mankind, he is only an intercessor in heaven, and everything depends on us. I wanted to repeat it again. Jesus Christ said, I am only an intercessor here in heaven. Everything depends on humankind. The witnesses that were there, they start asking him, they start crying. That's not what we knew of you. Because that's so how they were misled with people running institution here on earth. Believe in Jesus Christ and you're saved. He said, I pray, I intervene in your behalf, and I pray on your behalf so that you do not lose your faith, so that you can maintain your shield of faith. That will be your protections in your future. That's exactly what he does. Now, when you follow his advice, you will see him work. He's going to work through you, to you. They want us to take action. There will not be a spiritual intervention or spiritual growth without men doing an action. You'll be gleaming. They'll walk through you. Jesus Christ will put men, take people, God will choose people who have given their life to him and walk through those people to do miracle. You will not see Jesus Christ coming there and do stuff unless you have done your best. That in a certain level, it is not up to you anymore, because you cannot do that. Then they intervene. They use people who have accepted to walk close into the Holy Trinity and they work through those people to do their work. They will enter those people's body and work with those people. Those kind of people can beat any form of evil. Because they have allowed Jesus Christ or God to walk through them. Because that is how the covenant was made between God and Lucifer. When Lucifer said to God, your being are inefficient. They will deceive you. They are nothing. And I will destroy them. He was giving a challenge to God because he knew God. He said to God, you are a divine being. If you act otherwise, you will lose your authority. No one will have confidence in you anymore. Because you say you're perfect. Your creation is perfect. So let them prove it. That is the challenge we're going through. People are suffering, they don't understand it. God should have said, I don't give a damn. I'll destroy everything. In the long run, what would that be? He said, all right, I am the superior intelligence. I know what I've created is perfect and good. Let's go to the challenge. So, when you suffer, you will not see the heaven intervene in your place until you take action. It is the key we must all learn. We must all know about it. That's the reason why Jesus Christ said, I am an intercessor. I am here to represent you, to act on your behalf and pray on your behalf so that you do not lose faith. Then, if you keep your faith, I will be able to walk through you to help you. This is the truth. I don't care what other people have told you in the past. This was recent. End of the story. Let me tell you how they have defined faith. God and Jesus Christ have defined faith as this: forsaking all, I take him. Forsaking all, I take him. I want people to write that down. This comes straight from the heavens. Those who will not have faith, like Jesus Christ have said, I'll pray. I only pray for humankind not to lose faith. If you lose faith, you will be forsaken by the Holy Trinity. They will not help you. If you have faith, they'll help you. That's what the definition is. Your faith is a shield of protection. It is the connection between you and the Holy Trinity and the heavens. So it is important to keep your faith. You don't have $1, you believe. Oh, I don't have $1. I don't know what to do. I lose my job today. Now I have a cancer. I don't know how I'm gonna do. You keep your faith. They're there, they're watching everything. If they know you have done your best, you'll be surprised. You'll be helped. But if you stay there crying, you're gonna be crying. You'll be tired of being tired. When you're tired of being tired and you have no response, maybe you'll wake up and start doing the right thing. Take an action. People believe that I go over there and I run because I'm too strong. He's too strong. He's from Africa. He used to eat cassava. Who told you stuff like that? You think that I go and run over there because I'm too strong? He's too strong. I need a man like that. Need a man like that. I need $1 million. What about that? The point is this. I don't run over there because I'm too strong. I run over there because God allowed me to do my action through my faith. You have to keep up your faith. That's why running is the best thing. I am advising everybody to do that. Regardless your age, it is very important. The reason why it's important, look all the Bible. God have sent all the people, his people, into the desert. Why he have done so? Because the desert is like a marathon of the long run. It's pretty much like running long distance. When you go into the desert, what you do? You're not going to say, let me run fast so I can get out of this desert. You're going to die. Period. When God sent people into the desert, you look up, you look down, you look side, you look left, you look right, you look front, you look rear, no one. Now you go into the process. Your body say give up. And you say no, I am pressing on. The body say give up. That's Lucifer. He say I'm pressing on. That's how God put his people to test them and strengthen the foundation. When you run, you are improving your quality of resistance. Your endurance and your tenacity. Run help build your faith. Faith is not only by talking. Faith is being able to have a weight in your shoulder. It is painful. You are suffering. You are crying inside, but you keep going. That is faith in a practical way, if I may say. The heavens has also defined fear like this, because fear go along with faith. People lose their faith because they are fearing for something. I'm gonna die if I continue to run. I'm gonna die if I continue to run. I'll stop. You're not gonna have the result you're looking for. It is when you overcome fear that your faith have a meaning. So this is how God and Jesus Christ define fear. They say fear is false evidence appearing to be real. false evidence appearing to be real. That's fear. When you start running and say, I'm going to die, I need to stop, I have to give up. If you don't give up, you see the result you're looking for. Because there, it is Lucifer that is seeing you solving your problems and try to give you fear so that you can stop. I've been running, but I never solved my problem. No, you've been faking your running. You might be doing your best, but you were not able to overcome the fear. So your result will be exactly the way you put yourself into it. If you run, I run. Today I run about 12 miles. In my 10 miles, my body starts saying, you need to stop. I'm like, no, I'm not. My body says, you need to stop. I say, I'm not. My body says, stop. I say, I'm not. My body says, stop. I say, I'm not. My body says, stop. I say, I'm not. Lucifer disappeared. And I continue to run. Now, when I reach my 12 miles, a small voice said to me, it is enough. He didn't say that twice. And I knew that was the Holy Spirit and God talking. And 12 miles, I stopped and I started walking. That was the end of that that journey. False evidence appearing to be real. That's fear. Forsaking all, attack him. That is faith. You don't have faith, you'll be forsaken from the from the heavens. You have faith, they will be there for you. You have to overcome fear, because fear are not real. They're there to frighten people, to make people scared. That's what fear is. The evolutionists have said that complex matter evolve from simple matters. And I say to all the evolutionists, creation started exactly like that. From sequence specificity, simple matter, into information complexity, larger matter, complex matter. Therefore, I am saying to the evolutionist, evolution is part of creation. Evolution is integrated into creations. Because when you look creations start from sequence specificity or information specificity into information complexity to build or produce the final products. That's what it does. if I may drink my toxin-free water, I may be healthy. Family, neighbors, ooh, I feel so good. The point that I'm making is that when you do all your algorithms and calculus of logics, and you disregard the existence of the divine being, what you are doing is that you are removing an important element of that specific knowledge you're dealing with. Therefore, you will try to comprehend something that cannot be comprehensible in this dimension. This is what many people, even people who believe in creation, don't comprehend well. The human body, which is a machine, manufacturing machine, manufacturing biological machine, that's how called the human body, through a genome coded software. Were made out of this world. The knowledge that can prove the information specificity that reside within the nucleotide, within the hydrogen bond that link the base of the helix of a DNA molecules, derive from the spiritual realm. It is a technology that does not exist into this dimension. Therefore, you cannot comprehend or demonstrate such analogy by using humanistic comprehension. There is something that will not come clear. That's why both people who believe in creation and people who believe in evolution never comprehend. It is an example of our mismatch in many of our analogies in the past. God is a spiritual being. The spiritual realm controls the materialistic realm. The spiritual realm is bigger, is is a different dimension, a different life. I mean, if they open your eyes, your spiritual eyes that is in you, and that you can visualize the spiritual realm, it is a different structure. They have different portals. They have, even in your own house, they have different entries. You'll be surprised. I say every house, even if you live in the lowest house ever in this world, I am poor. You see how Jesus Christ come there and enter there, or an angel come and enter there. Matter of fact, you know, every day except on Sunday, every day there are a routine schedule of only eight guardian angels. 8. for the entire world. 8. I want people to understand this. They have a schedule of work that is already set. There are 72 of them. Divide in 8, 8, 8. On Sunday, instead of 8, it is 24. So God multiplied 8 by 3. He loved number 3, man. It's a very powerful number in numerology. Very powerful number. Then, during the day, the normal days, you only have 8 guardian angels that control, that protect all the human beings. And all of those guardian angels have the faculty of protecting spiritually, physically, and emotionally. And they differ from people to people depending on your last name, first name, your date of birth, and your time of birth. That's how they assign them into people. When somebody is born, they already know automatically the Holy Spirit do his work. Information, technology, spiritual, is done over there. It's the person. And they already know even before you're born. They're already there. So when you come up with that wound, they're already with you. Now, if you only have 8 guardian angel, what does that mean? And you have billions of people in the entire world. God gave them the ability to have access into the divine knowledge with limitation, with respect to God. The story of Lucifer, God became very, very cautious. So, with limitation. Well, not really cautious. You already knew that. Now, there are 8 of them. It means every single one of them have millions of individuals they have to protect a day. So they are very busy, immensely busy. How do they do it? Now, beside the human being that the guardian angel protect, you have 18 angels that protect the waters. You have 18 angels that protect the air. You have 18 angels that protect Earth, planet Earth. And you have 18 angels that protect the fire, the energy that surround planet Earth. So they make sure that things are balanced. Talking about the weather, it is the thing. Now, people don't comprehend it. Those guardian angels have omnipresence, omnipotent, omniscient faculty. You can be sitting there. Your guardian angel is the same as Bill Gates. You can be sitting there. Your guardian angel, that God, your president, is your guardian angel. Those are the combinations that are possible. And it is clear. If 8 guardian angels have to guard billion of people in the world, you don't have to be a bigger mathematician to comprehend, to understand what I'm saying here. And one of them Every single one of them have millions. You just have to divide it by 8. You'll find out. So if people can only comprehend that they are not too much important like they think they are. How come a guardian angel can guard a person like that? I live in a palace. I drive in a limousine. I give others. And the true knowledge come in front of you and say, you were born with that, isn't it? Now you come back to your normal sense. No, I was not. So some people believe that, when they reach a certain level, they can start talking crazy stuff. No, they're there to protect and to make sure that they serve human being. And they follow what is called the universal laws that are put in place by God. He wrote that down, so everybody follow that. It is part of the Holy Spirit. So everybody who violate that law will have some penalty. So every single angel have to follow that law, because they function according to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is pretty much like the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, every single secret service and intelligence of all the country around the world combined, including the universe and everything. I mean, you have that. Something is done, information is already passed through. Imagine they do that for every single one of us. Word by word, read your thought, read your heart, what you think is already, they already know that. True information. Now, information specificity built in is the supernal word. How do God made it? You have a DNA sequence. Every single human being possess inside the 23rd pair of chromosome of the reproductive organ a replication of themselves. How did that happen? Evolutionists, please tell me. Every single human being possesses in the 23rd pair of chromosome of the reproductive organ a replica of themselves. It's not the 22nd pair, the first pair, the last pair. So when you get the sperm cell with 23rd pair of chromosomes, the 23rd pair have the replica of the male right there, of himself. If you take the eggs, the 23rd pair have the replica of the female. Now, the combinations of the probabilities of the DNAs that one come from one of the chromosome, and the second DNA come from the second chromosome to form one chromosomes of the newborn. So that complexity is what form a new being that look like you but also have some specific characteristic that can differentiate him from you or from both of you, but he have some commonality that are similar to both of you, or a combination of both of you that build a new being in terms of behavior that you have not seen before. It is that combination, that information complexity, translations, that make it like that complex. Now, if it's a female, in the eggs, the one DNA, because one chromosome have two pair of DNA, and the female have two pair of chromosome XX on the 23rd pair of the eggs. Ovary or ovule. Now, one of the DNA come out and form the new cell from one of the chromosomes, and on the second chromosome one of the DNA come out, and those two DNA will form the new one chromosomes of the new baby, the new life. If it's a female, it's going to be X. Now, on the male side, if it's a female, it will be a dominant X of the XY will come out. And the X will come out, and what will come out? One of the DNA of the S chromosome will come out to join that new X, and one of the DNA of the Y chromosome will come out to join that X. So the first X chromosome of the female will have one of the genetic blueprint of her grandmother, and one of the grandmother behind her mother, and one of the genetic blueprint of the grandmother behind her father. And if you look far, you will find out more and more behind, going to the roots. Now, the second chromosome of the female that came from in which the DNA that composed it derived from the X and Y chromosome of the sperm, the S chromosome, that DNA that came from the X represent the grandmother behind the father, and then the other DNA that came from the Y chromosome represent the DNA of the grandfather behind your father. So you have information complexity right there. Now, if you go back and back, you find out grandmother, grandfather, grandmother, grandfather, grandmother, up to the end that compose that new being right there. Now, if it's a male, it's the same thing. The difference will be on the second chromosome will be the Y. But that Y chromosome will have the same type of DNAs, because one will come from the X and he will possess in the Y chromosome a DNA that came from the mother of his father, and the other DNA that came from the Y came from the grandfather. And when you look back, you're gonna see it came from the grandfather, the grandmother, the grandfather, the grandmother, the grandfather, the grandmother, the grand, until you find out you have all of that in you, with all the mutations. And mutation lead into morphology change. Leading to morphology change. Some of them will look like, he looked like your grandfather, because it was inside of the genes. Or the grandmother, because it was inside of the gene that you possess. It was recessive, so it was not manifesting in you, but it was inside of you, and then got superior, I can say, in your child, and manifest in a phenotype. So that's information complexity. How will you explain a design biological machine with such precision that you conclude that it was made randomly? How do such specificity with immense conciseness came out of chance? It is not even possible. It is too much information specificity and complexity to derive that hypothesis or all hypotheses true. It was and it is an intelligent design that is not part of this world. Now, when the new baby is formed, you have the new cell that is there with the two pair of chromosomes. Now, with the two pair of chromosomes, this is what happened. You have what is called the autosomal division, replications of the same cell. It means the cell is there with the two chromosomes with the full DNA on it, 2 in each chromosomes. Then when they divide, they form another cell that have the same materials, same DNAs. Is what is called replication. It means an exact copy of the originals. Reproductions. That's where reproduction comes from. And you have like that 23 times of that initial cell that is formed during the time of conception. You don't know that one, you know, so when it happened. That's how it starts forming. It is called autosomal procedure. So the initial cell that I explained earlier start dividing himself. He divides himself and form a second cell. And divide, and each of them start dividing. That's already 4. And each of them start dividing. You happen, and then you multiply so fast because every one of them divide. You know, you have the first one divide, it become 2. And each of them divide again. It will become what? 4. And if the 4 divide again, it will become what? 8. And if every one of the 8 divide again, it will become 16. and for some reason one will not divide and the other 7 will divide to create another 7. That will make it 23. So you have 23 pair. And when 23 pairs form, you have one cell. That's how it begins. That's how it begins. And the same process all over and all over again, so fast. It builds another cell. So fast, it builds another cell. So fast, it builds another cell. So fast, it builds another cell. And they start connecting together to form an organ. Build another cell. Build another cell. When everything is together, they start building. Now they start growing. Growing. Forming. 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 If they form accordingly, the way it was designed, the way it was programmed by the intelligent design, it will form like a human form. And you'll be able to see it from the ultrasound. Now, the procedure have to reach 150 billion cells from one single cells that you and your partner have done. What you did? One action in order for the process of God, the spiritual realm, to manifest. If you do nothing, nothing will happen. Come back to what I said earlier. You must have faith. You must not have fear. Everything's there. Jesus Christ, it's up to you. Do you know how that thing is formed inside the belly? No one explained that. No one can explain it. I can only explain to you the way it is. But I cannot tell you how it was programmed. But I can interpret the programmation based on the outcome. Because when you know the outcome, you can interpret the programmation. I believe that he did it like this because of the outcome. I believe that, but I can't really tell you that, it is the way it was done like this. But only by doing the action that you did, something's formed. Because it is allowed by somebody who decide to make it happen and get the process formed. It is even more spiritual than we think. A 150 billion cells. Now, when you have 150 billion cells, it's not over. The body now have to defend himself. The body have to create a human system, create more proteins to defend yourself, create bones, assure that the bones are well structured with the bone marrow to produce, to manufacture blood cells. And the blood cells must include hemoglobins, which are the iron proteins, rich proteins, another form of proteins that carry oxygens, O2, around the body. They are pretty much like blood cell, red blood cell. And also manufacture white blood cell to battle against infections, against toxins during the process of inflammations. Response into toxins. That's what is called inflammations. Response into toxins. You have pain because your body is reacting into toxins and it is the process of inflammation. And then now when you take anti-inflammatory drugs, what it does is to help the body and calm the pain. What is the pain? It is the exogenous force into the vessels. It is what make you feel pains, because you have a force that do not exist into the normal operation of cellular metabolisms and create that contractions or expansions of the cell out of the other, and that's what creates the pains that you have or the swellings. Now the body goes from a simplistic DNA molecules of one chromosomes out of the 46 chromosomes that compose one cells. You have a formations of a RNA polymerase that come in just to produce proteins. When you eat, it is the proteins that send a signal out of the livers, out of the liver's blood cells. When they identify the presence of toxins, those C-reactive proteins are released to send a signal into the white blood cells that you have toxins that came from the food that was consumed. And the white blood cells start fighting it, try to neutralize those toxins so that it does not destroy the cells. But sometimes those toxins are so vital that it might interfere with the productions of the blood or the blood red, the red blood cells or the white blood cells, not allowing enormous productions of those white blood cells to battle those toxins, and you will feel weak because of it. Now, when you take the nutrients that possess vital nutrients, that possess vitamins such as vitamin A, E, C, B12, B6, B5, vitamin A, D, and some minerals like calciums, potassiums, magnesiums, manganese, irons, so a little bit of sodiums. You have the potentials of, and as well as lipid, such as amino acid, waters, dietary fibers, carbohydrate, as well as proteins. You will be able to help the body to convey quicker and resolve the productions more faster to solve the problem. So it goes from sequence specificities of the DNA sequence, ACTG for the DNA, ACUG for the RNA. The The RNA messenger are formed from the RNA polymerase during the unzipped and transcription procedure. When the information is transcribed from the coded strand of that DNA, it is moved by ribosomes into a cytoplasms to process information translations from that mRNA to a tRNA, transfer RNA, that possess the anticodon that will match with the codons that are in the messenger RNA with that information that got transcribed from the original coded strand or helix in the original DNA, from that information specificity. Now, that information that was integrated in there by the intelligent design in that nucleotide will then be transferred from that codon to that anticodon match of 3 sequence of base, which are what? AUG for the codon in an mRNA inside the polymerase. That will correspond to an anticodon, which will be what? UAC, because A will go with the U will go with the A, and G will go with the C. That will be always the starting process, how it was coded, of the beginning of any amino acid chain that compose a proteins. AUG. That information will be translated there, and when it's translated, what will happen? A peptide bond is built between the initial transfer DNA and the second transfer DNA, and when that peptide bond is put in place, both amino acid are built, and the transfer DNA go away, and the second one come up, and the first one that was in place move according into the ribosome. It moved the mRNA to the second sequence. When you move it, the transfer DNA that was used will go out of the cytoplasm, go away, and then the second one that came in will move into the second position, and another transfer RNA will come inside, and so on and so on. When the information is translated, another peptide bond will be found, will be put in place, and then you're going to have a 3 amino acid chain, and the ribosome again will move the mRNA inside the cytoplasm, and the second tRNA will go away, and then the first one will move into the second position, and another tRNA will come again, so on and so on. And the simplistic protein that you have will be composed of 150. So you're going to have that process like that 150 times. And when that amino acid chain is formed, at the end, how do you know it's the end? The way the intelligent design program it. At the end of the sequence inside of the cytoplasm, when you look out the codons of the mRNA, you will see a UAA or a UAG or a UGA that identify stop. A AUG identify code start. It's like when you write a code, you will start with a procedure, or you will start with the run, or you will start with end. You stop with the end. It's the same thing. So it was programmed like that. And when that amino acid is formed, a protein is formed. Then another proteins will move that protein out from that area and bring it to another area where another protein will mold that protein into the function in which it is designed for. You see, you only have 20 kinds of proteins. So the sequence is very important. That's when you start talking about information complexity. The sequence of those amino acids out of 20. Very important. Therefore, when that amino acid that sequence of that chain of amino acid are produced, what happens is that protein in which it is sent identify exactly which kind of protein is it, that protein is, and based on what, the information code that are composed inside. I'm talking about the arrangement of the amino acid. Give him the exact name of that proteins, and that protein was already programmed to know the exact function of that new form proteins. Therefore, he will mold it into a shape, concise shape, that identify its specific function in the body. And when he mold it, like the saw, or like the hammer, or like a knife, or like a spoon, based on the function that it does, it is molded in a three-dimensional shape. Listen to this very carefully. The DNA molecule, the original base, that's where the information started. From the process of transcription to the process of translation to the formations of proteins. The DNA molecule itself is twisted into a three-dimensional shape to form a three-dimensional protein. How do that come out to be a random phenomenon? It is not possible. There is too much sequence specificity that leads into information complexity, too much arranged and concise into a level of immense concretizations that contradict the level of change or level of necessity. That's what it is. So when the protein are formed, the protein will do the job. The protein is what keeps you alive. Without any protein, there is no life. That's how God made the body. Then now, those proteins who are doing that work, how do those proteins end up there, knowing that protein derived from DNA sequence, the base? All that procedure that I told you, a ribosome protein need to move the mRNA out of, when it leave the DNA into the cytoplasm. Where do that ribosome come from? Now, when the amino acid reach the coded sequence to form a protein, that protein is moved out by another protein. Where did that protein come from? And then that protein bring it into another protein that molded. When did that protein that molded come from? So they were all built at the same time or simultaneously in the beginning. And like you see the car that you start, when you start the car, what happened? The battery must be charged, right? So the car cannot start if the battery is not there. You cannot come and explain that the car started by chance. If the battery is not there, the car will not start. So somebody placed the battery there in the beginning. Now when the car starts, you don't need the battery anymore. Why? Because to the process of charge, the battery launch the power into the motor, and the alternator transform the DC into the AC and recharge the battery. It become a circuitry, and it does not stop. It is information for the future. That's the way you're gonna go forever. This is the beginning. The next time you see me, it will be on TV. So now your car is there. People just don't understand where people are up to. That's the problems we have in our society today. So when the car is already running, everything runs together. Now the battery is the one who gives the power, but now the machine start charging the battery in return. When the DNA build up the proteins start the process of helping the DNA replicate itself. Remove the damaged DNA to produce new DNA. Produce the new RNA. The protein that was produced by the DNA come and help the DNA repair itself. Information complexity. And the RNA are also forms based on the DNA base. They are the reference. That's what it is. They are the reference. They are everything. They are life. They are God. All of you, you have a guardian angel that guards you. They're there. Whatever religion you are, they are guarding you. They just don't manifest themselves because you have to pray. You have to pray to build up your faith and maintain your faith. It is your faith that will make those guardian angels manifest themselves because they're there. God created religions, different religions, inspirements to do that, to create an atmosphere of peace. It means that people will understand their religion based on the culture. Some of the religion are culture oriented. It is a culture thing. It makes people feel more comfortable. I understand my religion, I'm good, I'm fine. I don't have to worry about something else. You see what I mean? So it is very important for people to know that. One of the religion that's not really culture oriented is Christianity. And it is up to Christianity to understand the other word. To know that those people that take that thing seriously. Because it's like the culture. But it is not an opportunity for people who take that thing seriously as a culture to harm or hurt other people. We have to work with peace. Yes, in the past, God have given authority to people to kill other people, the Jew, but that was based on that time. The law of balance still exists. It is true. There is a God of peace. Jesus Christ is an intercessor. He was put in place there to make sure that he cannot advocate for man. He can act on behalf of man to build peace over there. The command comes from God. God is the one who has the last word because he's the one who created everything in place that he cannot change because he made everything perfect with his higher intelligence and made everything perfect, and as it is. And he can't change it. He will never gonna change it because it is perfect, final. Everybody that came after that, in the position they are today, they follow just that. There's nothing they can do. You want to try to change it? Welcome in hell. That's where you're gonna be forever. So God can change your life like that. Many poor people, many people who are poor intellectually, they're gonna start talking about you talking about God can change your life like that. What do God have done to you? You have no money. Again, first of all, I don't like money. You expect me to be a millionaire? I don't think it is a race. So I have what I need to survive. End of the story. But when some people say you cannot serve God and serve money, some of them don't understand what it is. But let me explain to you what it is. It does not mean that you cannot have money. But it does mean do not place money first when you are in relationship with God. Because money is nothing to him. That's what it means. You can be a billionaire, a millionaire, but when you start praying, when you start talking with God, please consider yourself like when you were nothing. Amen. When you didn't have that. Because that's what people do. They go and pray. And let me tell you what came from the heavens. Because that's why I structure myself as well. I change myself in the way of praying, moving forward. That's the way I do. That's how you grow in spiritually. Many people pray, God, they start seeing all the problem from the beginning to the end, even the problem that you just don't have any clue how heaven is looking at you. They're like, what the heck is wrong with this person? So you think we do not know your problem? God knows your problems. Since then, I stopped praying, asking God to solve my problems. The best way to pray is to ask God, what does he have in his heart about your concerns? Trust me, that is faith right there. Because when I talk, people are like, faith, all right, that is faith right there. You don't have to explain to him any of the problem. He already know. Your guardian angel, they know. What do you have in your heart about my concern? End of the story. The next thing you have to do, you glorify him. You only talk about him. Only talk about him. Not about you. I wake up this morning. I saw my neighbor. He looked at me in a certain way. I saw that guy. I've been texting him. He was not responding to my call. God, my heart hurt. I don't know what to do. Who do you think you're talking to? Your boyfriend? Your friend? Or somebody who's in the same dimension as you? First of all, he is the author of your situation because he put trial into your life. How come you're going to come and say to a person who set up everything in your life, you come and tell him, it's like somebody make you do stuff and you come and tell him exactly what he made you do. What information are you bringing him? Nothing new. Just turn it around. No, not knowing what you're doing. But if you say to him, what do you have in your heart about my concern? He knows. This person knows exactly who I am. You have to mean it from inside. Don't fake it because I said. If you fake it, they will know it. The response is going to be exactly like that. It will be a fake response. You don't cry them. So this is what I'm suggesting, because that's the truth. But when you're going to say to people, they're going to say that dictatorship, you cannot tell me how to pray, I have my right. Yeah, you do. Many people, they're like that. But that's the truth I'm telling you, my friend. Because 10 years, 5 years from now, you'll be like, I've been praying, nothing been happening. It's because you've been praying not the right way. And you start blaming the heavens when actually there's nothing wrong with them. There's something wrong with us. Not understanding how they function. So you have to ask them, what is in your heart? I don't know. You know. What's up with me? You can even make a comedy if you want. They love it. They love comedians. Okay, you say, God, I know that you know what's up with me. So what's up? He's going to respond to you. They don't get it. They must smile a little bit, but they don't understand that this man is serious, depending on how your heart will be. And that's it. Many people do 30-minute prayer. They put a book of what's going on with their life, like they're informing God about their life. God is saying, you are not telling me what you need truly from this. Are you informing me, or you asking me something out of what I already know? And God stayed quiet. When he stayed quiet, what he said, well, they will go to the process and learn, and when they become mature to the process, they will understand. That's what it does to all of us. Apply to me as well. So when you understand it, you start saying, God, I know you're the authors of my problems. Many people are fearful to say that, but that's true. He even wants you to say that, because that glorify him, because he's the one who put the trial into your life, and during that trial, he allowed Lucifer to bring temptation into your life. Temptation itself is not the sin, but acting the way you act into it, it is what bring up the sins. All right? Temptation is not a sin. You can be tempted, but if your heart is not into that, it means nothing. When Lucifer showed Jesus Christ the world, all the kingdom, the palace that we have today, Jesus Christ didn't say to him, "I'm not going to look into it, otherwise I'll be sinning." He looked into it. And at the end he said to him, "It is written, I can't be tempted." So it's not a sin. If I'm looking at a woman, it does not mean that my eyes is raping her. It does not mean that my intention is what it is. I have to look because I have eyes. It's not a temptation. That may bring up the sin if you don't act on it, depending on you. Many people don't know that. They're hiding for no reason, because they are guilty inside of their heart. Guilty of being part of conspiracies. Conspirators. So I told you how to pray. You pray like that. The next section is to glorify God. That's all you do. Many people pray glorifying themselves. God, I gave money to these people. I've invested a lot into orphans around the world. God, I'm treating my family well. You see, I purchased a new car. It's very good looking. God, thank you. I have a new house now. They're looking at you. They just smile and shake their head. Another one. What do you want him to do? Dance? You go in heaven and see God start dancing in his chair. Yeah, a certain John Joe just informed me he have this and that. You'll be surprised. There are certain people who think like that. No, I glorify God. No, that's not the way you pray. Simple. God, what do you have in your heart regarding my life and situation? He already knows what is in your heart, what you need. And one by one, you can start reflecting it inside of your mind and relating it to your heart. One by one, you go through it, because that's how you read it. Then you know that you know how to pray. Because that's how he knows what is in your life. He already knows, but he knows what are more essential to you, that concern you, because we have emotions. We can't hide it. It's inside of us. Everybody have that. Then he's going to turn you from a victim into a victor. He transforms your mess into a message, your trial into a triumph, and your detour that you're going through into a destiny. And I say again, those who live, who have their life without God, their life will have no meaning. And a life with no meaning have no purpose. A life with no purpose have no hope. And a life with no hope is an empty life. And an empty life will lead you into a tragic end. And many people should know that when they count God out of their operation and calculations. Many stars, many people who are overtaken by the thing of this world. I have to travel to this, I have to travel to that, I have to do this, I have to do this. They spent few time for prayer. How many of those stars are out there that spent a day only to pray? Or if they don't do that a day, they pray every day, at least for 5 minutes. And they are overtaken by I have appointment over there, I have appointment over here. You think that people who die as I'm talking right now didn't have appointment tomorrow? You wake up, it's because God wants you to wake up. So the best thing to do is to pray at least 5 minutes. You pray for him so that he can help you to do your schedule tomorrow. Many people don't do that. I have an appointment tomorrow. You're gonna look people who die. They have the calendar full of appointments. God can extend your life into this earth, even if your time is due. Because we all have a due time, but He can extend it. But it is up to you. You have to pray. I'm talking to the people, mostly those in the showbiz and all that. So that's a message that God has said into the heaven. Very pathetic. My people have run away from me. They have no faith. It is very pathetic. You go to the throne of God in heaven, that's what He said. You'll be surprised how God just said that. Many people go to church. God said, my people run away from me. They have no faith anymore. Around the entire world. When He speaks like that, He doesn't speak only for one nation or the United States. He's talking about the entire world. Things became so tough that people became so attached into the material of this world, of the thing of this world, that God is absent. It doesn't exist. Things happen by chance. I do what I gotta do. The point that he's not saying that because he's worried about what will happen. He have many people, many generations that are coming. Generation will go, new generation will come. He's worried because many souls will be lost into the fires for the grading in the present existence. That's what Jesus Christ said. I am an intercessor praying on your behalf so that you do not lose faith. Build up your faith, maintain your faith. Forsaking all, attack him. Overcome fear, false evidences appearing to be real. Therefore, the heaven will be there for you. It is up to you. That's the message of Jesus Christ into His people. That's the message from the heaven from God himself into you. It is up to you. Read the Bible. Try to understand what I just said, because it is the same thing. We just try to understand it our way, because we don't like the truth. The truth is this: Jesus Christ will not come and help you if you don't help yourself. End of the story. That is the truth. You don't maintain that shield of faith, you'll be forsaken. It does not come from me, it comes from the heavens. And I have to do the same thing. Try to maintain that faith through prayer. Because the faith is the connection with the heaven. It's the only thing that protects you, that can link you, that can maintain your relationship with the divine being. That faith. There's nothing else. If you think I'm talking crazy stuff, you'll find out. Many people went over there, they tried thinking that it was just a gimme story. They realized it was real. Apostle Paul came and said, shield of faith. Everybody came and said, shield of faith. They understood it was real. Jesus Christ is an intercessor praying for you to keep your faith. So to pray for you so that you do not lose your faith. That's what he do. Now, when you maintain your faith, he will come and walk. He's going to walk through you. He's going to help you to carry your burden. God will do the same. That's what it's about. Without further ado, I would like people to contact me. I'm starting the consulting, my spiritual and critical thinking and consulting for private folks. People are welcome to contact me if they wanted to discuss further about this matter, spirituality and focus and consciousness, cosmic consciousness, and the consciousness of the subconscious. I'll be willing to talk to them. With humility, things can be done. So you can go on my website and you can visit my website and get the contact information from there. You get my telephone number. You can text me, and then thing will go from there. Like I said before, I'm a man of peace. Peace, shalom and shalom. I respect every single religions, and I respect every single prophet that came. I am not one who respect God to judge people, but I am here to speak the truth according to God's desire and will into the people with no fear. I know that people don't like change in the way they function, but change is necessary due to the fact that what has been done in the past have not made any change. People are still suffering. People are still going into difficulties. Is because somehow we are not doing something right, and things will keep worsening because of that. So somebody have to come the truth and say that's not the way. I am a messenger only, and I speak the truth, and I just told you the truth. You can't disregard this. You can say that's not how the Bible is written. But let me tell you, theologians will tell you, you cannot really say that with certainty, because the Bible do not give you interpretation of what is illustrated in there. That's the reason why many of us have different interpretation of that Bible. Many theologians will tell you that. What I'm telling you here didn't come from the Bible, it came from Jesus Christ and God themselves. And they are the one who inspire people to write that Bible or those holy books. Therefore, what I just said to you is true with 1000% purity. Now, if you take it the way it came and try to resonate that with what is the Bible, you're going to find out that it's true. Because I have many folks out there, for some reason, they're just gonna be sad about something. But I don't care about that. I spoke what I'm supposed to speak according to how I was instructed. Help yourself. Take an action, and the heaven will help you. Jesus Christ will help you, and God will help you. You take no action, you have nothing. It is the way it is designed. You want God, Jesus Christ, to work with you, you have to allow them to do that. It will require an action from you, not a recitation, not a duplication of recite and song. It will take an action of faith. Faith and trust, overcoming fear. That's the only way the heaven will respond into you. Spiritual growth do not come from the normal physical life process. It comes from true suffering, from rejecting yourself, it means your ego, and accepting your true self. Your Bible said, the Holy Spirit, it is absent into men reasoning. It means when you use your intellectual, the Holy Spirit is not part of it. It is written in your Bible. Not the way I say it, but I say it in form of interpretation of what is in there. Translation, pretty much. Not interpretation, translation of what is in there. Because interpretation is different than translation. It is written. Take an action. Therefore, I will see you next time, if God bless, and you keep up with me. Visit my website, www.njohmed.founded. You can get me on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I'm looking for people to do business with my company. Like I say again, I'm moving into the pharmaceutical, medical, and innovative technology. And I hope that many people take me seriously, because that's who I am. And I hope that it will be the case with you, to come and work together Thank you very much. And à plus, have a dozen, au revoir, and you are welcome to contact me as well.